Hello, hello. It's time for Fishing Friends. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fishing Friends with Danny and Gina. I'm Danny,
I'm Gina.
and this one's gonna be, a good one. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting week.
It's been a boring week for me.
What did you say?
It's been a pretty boring week for me, so yours is probably more eventful than mine.
Well, most of the week was pretty boring. Sales haven't been great this week either, so it's just been kind of like long, slow days, and I've been doing a little bit more karaoke because I like when Brewski's was where the competition was, and they had this really nice big stage with all this like fancy lights and stuff. And then the guy that runs the karaoke too also has like a dry ice machine, so you get like the full atmosphere and stuff. It's like being at an actual concert, so it's pretty sweet. So they do it on Wednesday nights, so I've been going out there the last couple of weeks and doing that, and that's been a lot of fun. They got really good food out there too. Apparently, like they got like 11-year champion wings.
Oh,
Like a really good, like sweet and tangy sauce. Their wings are really good.
dang.
What's up, Jeff Kane? Empire of Dirt Aquatics is here, and Scotty the Fish Freak.
Scotty!
Lee Wilcox, what's up, Lee? Off to bed. It's 2 a.m. in the middle of the night in England. Have fucking before I go. Feel like saying something rude. Okay.
Good night, Wooly. Have a good sleep.
I have you in the big screen, so I won't be in chat, but wanted to say hi. Well,
Hi, Scotty.
I used to watch on the big screen all the time.
Yep, and then I would have my phone with the volume turned down so I can pick that up and chat with chat if I needed to.
Well, see, what was interesting, at least you might be able to do the same thing, but my TV has like a YouTube app, and my phone is connected to the same app or whatever, so I can actually have my phone connected to it, so I can chat on my phone and look at the live chat on my phone while the stream is being projected on the television.
I mean, kind of, but
I don't have to mute my phone because it's not playing the video on my phone at all anymore. It's just the live chat.
Oh, mine doesn't do that.
And I don't ever really do that anymore because sometimes like I've wanted to just disconnect my phone so I can listen to the live chat and put something else on my phone and like multitask between two different videos and stuff like that. But I don't do that anymore either. Now my TV is just pretty much on YouTube all the time, playing different videos of bird sounds and stuff to make my birds all happy. And make just extra sounds so that Tundra doesn't freak out all the time too. So.
Lisa's fun, not the F word. Damn keyboard. Have fun. My intentions are good. My Hanson brain, not so much. It's not my fault.
Well, you said you wanted to say something rude, so I was just like...
That's what I thought, too.
I thought you were just trying to just slip a random F word in there and, like, have it not make sense. But, yeah, I can see how you meant to say have fun.
It's all good. Everybody was at work was tired today. Like
Oh
nobody could
yeah.
sleep well last night. I missed Steven's stream because we had a game. Nathan had a guys' night, game night, so we were playing. Oh my god, what's that? Nathan, what was that game called? He'll either pop up in chat or he'll come in here and tell me. It was fun. But yeah, I think they were here till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Was it like a board game?
No, it was like a card game.
Was it like a deck builder game?
Not really. So it was kind of in the same way of Cards Against Humanity. How you have like a character card. So each player builds like a character, and then the idea is that they fight. No, it's
Superheroes.
not called that. It was like super. I don't remember. Anyway, so each person builds their own.
Super Cheerios?
No. So you play a character card, and then you play like an ability, and then the second round, everybody chooses a second ability that's either a booster or a nerf, and you can play it on anybody's character. So you can either boost your own character, or if you like somebody else's character more, you can boost their character, or there's nerf ones, or you can nerf somebody else's character.
Right.
So it was funny. So our one friend Sean had Darth Vader with an indestructible shield, and then the other Sean decided to put him on a like a hoverboard, so then he was kind of off balance. I'm like, it's Darth Vader. He's not going to be off balance anyway.
Right.
And then I still have the Force, and I was like, all right, well, he's holding way too many groceries. It was just funny things like that. And then you argue about who's winning. Super fight. That's what it was called. But yeah, it's fun because the cards are just vague enough. Like our friend played Frankenstein, and then he played with a unicorn horn. And at first we're thinking Frankenstein's monster. That's just who we all imagine, because that's a common misconception. And I'm like,
Right.
wait, does he have a unicorn horn on his head, or does he have a unicorn horn?
Right.
So then we had to establish that, and it wasn't until the end that we were like, wait, it just says Frankenstein, so that's Dr. Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like the cards are just vague enough that like you have to kind of establish exactly what you mean.
Bunny Viper's here.
It's really fun.
Yeah, so that would be interesting because if it was like Dr. Frankenstein with the unicorn hand and with the unicorn horn in hand, like he could like try to bring back a unicorn or something.
Right.
Interesting.
Nah, his phone knew what he meant.
My mind is pure. My fingers are not. I am on the juice. I have been a good boy for weeks, but today I had some beer. It's not my fault. Now, it's funny, though, because basically you probably did try to write fun, and now you got to look at, let's see. The K is kind of close to the N, but you probably hit like I don't know. Your phone, you may just write the F word a whole lot more than you write fun, to where your phone was just like, I think he means fuck. It's like, no, I meant fun.
So many times I've tried to say duck, like, because we do have like duck feed at work, and it autocorrects it to fuck, and I was like, no.
Yep. Every phone, it's like at first you try and write fuck and it corrects to duck, and so then you have to correct it, and then after so long you try to actually write duck, and it's just like, no, I think you mean fuck.
Yep.
My phone knows me better than I do. Oh man.
But yeah, no, we had to, at one point, it was something about a whale, and I was like, wait, a dolphin, or like what kind of, like we were trying to establish what type of whale, and I'm like a beluga whale? oh wait, that's a dolphin. And then I go, wait, what's the
A
difference between a
porpoise.
dolphin and a whale? And so I Googled it. Apparently, whales have 2 blowholes and dolphins have 1.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the difference between a porpoise and a whale.
Yeah. Because I was like, is it a situation where whales are or dolphins are whales, but not but whales aren't dolphins? And then I was like, we need to consult Google. There was a lot of consulting Google that night or last night.
Yep. So the same way we have 2 nostrils, whales have 2 nostrils, and porpoises have an actual it's like one singular hole that can actually like open and close like this sort of thing, where whales can't really do that.
Why did my naughty fingers write fuck instead of fun? I swear I only noticed when I read it back. And then Bunny says, hello, Lee. You're on Danny's page, so I can only see your comments if Danny puts them on the screen. She loves you.
You have that backwards there, Bunny. You're on mine, and Lee is on Gina's. So that's why you can't. It's backwards.
Same difference.
It seems like, yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of like your phone and stuff or whatever, knowing what. Anyway, actually, it has nothing to do with that. Just trying to move on. Well, actually, I was supposed to have a game night next Saturday, so I was originally not going to be able to stream next Saturday, but it looks like that actually ended up getting canceled. I don't really know why, but they're gonna plan one for October instead, so we'll do that. Maybe it's just because she ended up spending so much money for her husband's birthday or whatever else. Because they're doing so many different things, including going to the same thing that I'm going to tomorrow. So on Thursday, right around, I don't know, 10 or 11 a.m., all of a sudden I get an email on my phone and it says, congratulations, you're a winner. And I'm just like, what is this? But then I realized it was from KC95. And sure enough, I didn't even realize like I was actually even in the running for this thing or whatever, because I had remembered seeing like the icon or whatever on the Keishi app like a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago, but it's been a long time since it had actually been on the app, and it was one of those things of listening to the app for so many hours per day and you get an entry into win tickets. I ended up winning tickets to go see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper tomorrow. And Filter and Ministry are going to be there too. And I'm like super excited. And so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I gotta take my sister because she freaking loves Rob Zombie and all that stuff too. So I called my sister like right away, and it rang a few times, and then she finally answered, and she's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Hi, Maria, it's Danny," and she's like, "Yeah, you called me. You don't normally call me." I'm like, "Yeah, I was just like really excited and just kind of went to." Anyway, are you busy on Sunday night? And she's like, like not in particular or anything. Like, why? What's going on? And I'm just like, I had no idea I was even in the running, but I just won tickets to go see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper on Sunday night. You want to go with me? And she's just like, and then I hear like, I guess she was gonna ask, her husband just like, he's like, can I go to a concert with Danny on Sunday night? And I don't know what he said, but basically he said yeah, and so it's like, yeah, me and my sister are gonna go to see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. And when my friend was texting me about the game night being canceled, I told her that I was going. Sure enough, she bought tickets months ago for her husband's birthday to go see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper. So they're going to be there too. So I think they're sitting on the lawn, and I'm pretty sure my tickets said lawn, but they also had like seat numbers and stuff. So I don't know if that's just to keep track of how many people are in the concert or what, but it said lawn, so I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on the lawn. So
Nice.
it's gonna be sweet though. I've never seen Rob Zombie or Alice Cooper live,
Oh,
but
so this is at the amphitheater.
I know both of them do like crazy awesome shows.
Yeah.
So like I'm super excited. And then my sister is like, she hasn't been to a concert in like 10 years or whatever too. So it's gonna be nice to, get her to go out and, do this too. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm super
Nice.
excited.
It's gonna be 87, so it'll be warm, but not too hot.
Yeah. And doors are at 6 and the show starts at 7. So like
Nice.
it'll be cooling down pretty good by that point. And then, by the time actually like Rob Zombie and then like Alice Cooper come out and stuff, like it'll be dark and a lot cooler. But of course, I'll probably be pretty drunk by that point as well. So
What's up,
I won't
Shady
care.
Grady? Sorry.
I wonder what the rules are as far as taking like vapes and stuff to the concert.
Oh, that's true. You should probably look that up on the website.
Because like it's legal, but
Shady Grady, hello. Fathom, hello.
I know they allow you to take in like cigarettes and other types of vapes, but I don't know if that. Yeah, it's legal, right? So, but I don't know. I guess the venues can also decide whether or not you can, because it's like you're not supposed to in public or whatever. I guess based off the laws. I don't know. You look at that up. Hollywood Amphitheater rules on.
I don't know. I'm not cool. I don't go out and do things.
I had searched it, and the first thing was like a Reddit thing, and it was like, "Is it 420 friendly?" And it's like somebody commented like, "It was 420 friendly long before legalization. People have been smoking joints in the lawn since it was called Riverport." And it's like they're not wrong. Like I do remember smelling it there all the time, but it's like I always feel like you had to like try to sneak it in before.
Yeah.
Where it's like now it's like they have metal detectors and stuff like that. Like, can I just be like, here you go? You just hold it in my hand or whatever. Like, they had somebody. The top answer was like, bring a vape and do it whenever you want.
There you go.
So, yeah. Some of you are really rude. You haven't hit the like button. I know, right? Like, how can you be watching this and not like hit that like button? Because it sends out notifications to other people when you hit the like button. And also, I don't know if it actually does anything to help my channel because, like, YouTube just kind of throttles my channel a little bit. But it is what it is. I don't care. That's why I have my Rumble.
Brody's Betas. Hello. That's a new name for me.
And it's on your channel as well.
And it's on my side. Speaking of not pushing your channel out, but pushing mine.
And Fathom Aquatics is here. Shady Grady.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome.
Mammals that swim and don't have legs to walk or make rockets to go to Mars and shit. Dolphins. Apparently they're really smart. Yeah, dolphins are really smart.
They're also really horny.
Yeah. I'm going to Danny's house. Okay. Oh, are you talking about my live stream? You're hopping over to my side of the stream.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say, how does he know where you live?
I'm like, where did this come from? Like, and
Is Moose in town?
I was like,
My house is clean.
hi, Danny, I'm here.
Well, ish.
What's that knocking?
Right? Ding dong. I would always text my friends instead of going up to their house and ringing their doorbell. I would just text them, ding dong. What's for supper? To be honest, I'm an old time Gina supporter. Aw, thank you, Moose. Barbara Jackson, hello, hello.
Barbara Jackson.
What is for dinner, Danny? What are you feeling?
Well, I didn't actually eat dinner yet because
I know. Good.
I had like a late sort of lunch, and I actually ate breakfast today because whenever we have to work on Saturdays, they tend to feed us breakfast, which is nice.
Aw, that's
So
nice.
they got some of the, well, I keep wanting to say schwans because that's just that's what the
That's what it's
company
always
was for
been.
so long. That's what that's the name that people recognize, and just whatever. But yeah, yellow. So they got some yellow biscuits. Oh, that just sounds awful. And some of the country sausage patties, and then the American cheese slices, and then there was already almost a dozen chicken eggs from one of the my coworkers' farmer customers in the fridge, and so we made breakfast sandwiches and stuff with that, and it was really really good. So yeah, it's not Schwann's anymore, and it's actually only one N. And it actually is the German word for swan, uh, which is what was really cool. Was it was their last name, and they always had a swan as their symbol. So I I didn't understand everything for a while. I've been working for the company for almost 3 years now, and pretty much uh, right when I started working for the company, I started like right after Christmas time in 2021. 22, 23, 20. Yeah, I had to make sure I got that year right. So yeah, 2021, right after Christmas or right before Christmas, actually, was when I started. And like in January or February or whatever, all of a sudden we have this like meeting, this like virtual meeting thing or whatever with all the higher up people, and they're all like, "So we're excited to say that we're going to be changing the name to Yellow," and it's yellow with an E with an H, and I believe there's an the exclamation point is part of it too. I typed it in my chat. I can't type it in Gina's chat unless I pull up her YouTube. But Gina can, I think, type it in her chat if she types. But so it just was all just kind of thrown on me, and I was told that like they sold the name or whatever else, and I didn't fully understand it. But if you do a little bit of digging on Google, it doesn't take very much digging at all. It's like articles kind of pop up, like what happened to Schwann's. Basically, in 2018, Paul Schwann's, I believe the grandson, if not the great grandson, of Marvin Schwann's that started the company 75 years ago, well, actually, I guess 77 or 78 years ago now. He sold 70% of the company to another company called CJ in Korea, I believe. I hope South Korea, not North Korea. But I don't really know. I just remember I think it was Korea. And um, then after working with that company kind of side by side for a while, after so long, a few years or whatever, by the time I ended up joining the company, that 70% of the company left. And they separated from us because they wanted to focus on stocking grocery stores and getting their products into grocery stores. And so the pizza manufacturers, the ice cream manufacturers, and some of the other manufacturers that were related to like our garlic bread and lots of our different like family dinners and different things, they left. And so we had to, since they own 70% of the company, they kept the name Schwann's, and we had to change the name because Paul Schwann still wanted to focus on the door-to-door stuff. And because there's no other service quite like what we do. With those other ones like Factor and other stuff like that, you order pretty much pre-made meals or meal kits to where you can get like the measured out spices and stuff, and you just throw everything together and do that. Whereas, and you pay like a subscription fee and stuff like that too, and you just order big boxes of like meal kits. Whereas like ours is more of like a door-to-door frozen grocery store where you buy whatever you want, and you can always pre-order ahead of time too, but you get actual like door-to-door service through your sales representative. And you can go over all the deals and different stuff like that. I can help you find all the greatest deals that you might have forgotten about or you didn't see. But yeah, it's still Paul Schwann's that owns Yellow, and the door-to-door service or whatever is still pretty much exactly the same as it's always been. We did try a couple different things and it didn't work, so we ended up going back to our tried and true way of doing it. But yeah, we can't call ourselves Schwann's anymore because he sold his own last name to Korea. But if you go to schwans.com, you can see like what was taken away from us. I'll just present it. So Schwann's company owns like Red Baron, Freshetta, Tony's, Mrs. Smith's, which made all of our pies, Min, which made our like pot stickers and stuff like that. Pagoda, well, these were the pot stickers. Min made some of our other like dishes and stuff. Big Daddy's Pizza, Villa. They own lots of different pizza companies. Edwards made our pies too. Lots of different companies that they own. And so they just are focusing on filling up grocery stores now. And so, yeah, Red Baron Pizza, that's what we used to. Basically, our classic crust pizza was made by Red Baron. Our stuffed crust and our thick crust pizzas were made by Freshetta. Our little bitty pizzas were made by Tony's. There's a lot of products that we lost when Schwann's decided to separate from us. And we actually, because of that, we took a big hit as far as customers. Lots of depots shut down. Missouri, when I first started working for Schwann's, now called Yellow, there was like 9 depots in Missouri, and now there's only 2. there's mine, and then there's the one on like the Kansas City side of the state. And that's it. And apparently, there used to be upwards of like 15 to 20 depots in Missouri years ago. And so it's just like a lot of people, they liked certain products, they liked certain things done a certain way. And as soon as we put a different name on it and some of their products that they loved started going away, they're just like, I don't like any of this anymore. And we started trying all these different things with like texting people and allowing people to like decide whether or not they wanted the truck to come by via text message, to where like there was people that were just like, I don't need anything today, and just hitting no sale and all that stuff, which was screwing up all of our days, because we would go from having 60 scheduled stops to all of a sudden only having like 20, because 40 people just decided that I don't need a truck to stop by today, I'm fine. And so then it's like, well, what do we do with all this extra time? Yeah, and you don't even get the chance to try to change their mind. Yeah, sometimes that's what we would end up doing anyway. We'd still stop by certain people's houses and be like, oh, I'm sorry, it must have been a glitch or something, but was there anything you needed? But, it's like, that's the big thing, is that I am not a delivery guy. I am a sales representative. Like, I'm a salesman. I have to actually sell stuff. If I can't get in front of people's faces, then like, it is what it is. Like, there's so many times that, I'll knock on the door or ring the doorbell or whatever, and my customer will answer, and they're like, I don't really need anything today. And then I'll start showing them the different sales and stuff. Like right now, we got stuff that's even up to like 50% off. We got so many sales going on right now, to where like so many people have been like, let me go ahead and get a bag of the shrimp scampi, because I know it's good, and hey, it's 30% off. So, my sales have not necessarily been very good this week. But a lot of that has been because, like, there's been so many different actual sales going on that some of my customers that normally spend $200, they're only spending $120 this time, because, like, everything that they were getting was on sale. And, there were some days that I was getting just people to only buy like one thing. And one thing is something, but it was kind of funny. Like I believe it was Thursday, I only had 11 buying customers, and I sold roughly like $950 worth of product. But then Friday, I ended up having 18 buying customers, and I only sold roughly $850 worth of product. So I had roughly almost twice as many customers, but I sold $100 less, because everybody was what we call it. It was like they were nickel and diming me that day. It's like, I don't really need anything, but I'll go ahead and buy an ice cream or something like that. But I never wanted to get into like door-to-door sales, but what I do is a little bit different than, the AT&T guy just walking down the street and knocking on every single house. Like, I can do that if I want to, but I don't necessarily have to. I have my established customers, and I have scheduled stops, and I can go to my customers, and every customer is a regular. I've worked in retail and different stuff a lot, and your regular customers are always the best. The Steve that comes on every Tuesday right around 2:00 in the afternoon, and buys that jumbo jack from you in the drive-through or whatever. Like, that's the best guy or whatever, and you end up almost building like a friendship with these, regulars. Whereas like with this, like every customer is a regular. So I do have a couple customers that, really like we don't really have much of a conversation. It's just pretty much business, and that's the way that they want to keep it. But half of my customers, like, we can talk about so many different things, and I'll find myself like, well, you know what, Diane, I can sit here and talk to you all day, but I really got to get going. I got 30 other stops to get to. So,
No, I can't come in for lunch, even though I'm sure it's delicious.
so you don't have to pre-order. That's cool. No, you don't. Um, you can be like a pre-order only type of person, and there are people like that they don't really buy things on the regular. They're more of a, I'm gonna spend $250 once every other month sort of thing. Whereas like I have like a bi-weekly service. I have a different area of my route that I service every day, Monday through Friday, and then I go to a different section of my routing area on the next week. So, like one day I'll be in Hazelwood, another day I'll be in Florissant, another day I'll be in Blackjack, and so on and so forth. I'll just kind of be in different areas. And with our system, you can order on whatever day you want as well. And so, like, sometimes I'll kind of overlap a little bit because even though this I'm in this area on Monday and I'm in Wednesday and I'm over here, this person didn't get paid until, so Wednesday. And so, because they have EBT, and so they place their order. And so I might go out of the way for that one person. And with our system too, like if I'm going out of my way for one person, like somebody places an order in that area, our system will actually kind of send out some text messages to people that are kind of close and be like, there's some good buyers in the area, and it'll be like, hey, your driver's going to be close to that area. Was there anything you wanted? And you can reply yes or no. And if you reply yes, then all of a sudden you'll be scheduled as a stop for your driver, and they'll know to stop for you and get you whatever you want off the truck. But it is always best to pre-order because then the warehouse people that actually load the trucks, they get a list of stuff that you want, and they know to actually load that on the truck, and then the system will actually hold those products for you on the truck so that the salesman can't sell the product to somebody else earlier in the day. Because all the time it happens where I get to a stop because they work all day, and so they don't get home until 5. So they're one of my last stops, and I get there and I hear it all the time. Well, you're always out of everything that I want. And it's just like, I try to tell you that you need to pre-order because you're not home earlier in the day. I know what you want, and I try to stock it up, but I can't help it if I load up with 7 bags of chicken wings and 7 people want chicken wings earlier in the day. I can try to hold them for you, but if you pre-order, it won't allow me to sell them to everybody else. It'll say I'm out of stock, even though I have a bag for you on my truck. Do you think Danny would adopt me? I'm nervous.
Would you like a son? Would you like an adult child?
Moose? Why did I think that aquatic moose was a girl?
Maybe. Oh, it's aquatic. I don't know, actually. I just assumed. I am so sorry.
I might be wrong, but if I remember right from Terry live streams, I'm pretty sure aquatic moose is a woman.
Well, I just put my foot in my mouth. If that's true. Sabrina, I showed pictures on the days that I bought them. I don't know if I could remember listing them all off right now. But yeah, I pulled up like Google Images and showed off.
How come the bloke is talking his head off, but the woman isn't? This is really odd. The woman should be doing her nails, but twittering a load of bollocks as well. Is this an American thing? No, I had the floor at that time and was telling a story, and
You had a more interesting week than I did.
yeah.
Pretty much my eventful thing was just game night last night, and I already kind of talked about it, so.
I may check it out. You're a really good. I don't feel like I am, honestly, a good salesman, but I mean, one, it helps that I love the product myself. Honestly, I grew up on this food. It's really good food. I've never had frozen TV dinners or anything else that has ever been as good as the stuff that I get off my own truck. And, you know, sometimes you might get one of those TV dinners at the grocery store that it tastes really good, but you finish one and you're like, I'm still hungry. And then you eat like a second one. And whereas like our TV dinners, like they're actually packed with nutrition and the stuff that you need and protein and all that to where like you eat one and you feel full. It's good. And sure, our stuff is a little bit pricier than what you're gonna get at your discount grocery store. If you go to Aldi, that's probably the cheapest food you can get, other than maybe like a farmer's market or something like that. But if you're going to like a Whole Foods or a what's the play on words with time?
Oh, Fresh Time.
Fresh Time, or one of those fancy grocery stores. Like I just saw a random short on YouTube before the live stream about one of the most expensive grocery stores in LA. Like apparently a 2-liter bottle of water was $25.
Ew. No, thank you.
And it was like $20 or something like that for a gallon of milk. And like it's just ridiculous. Like that's just way ridiculous.
Hi, Nano.
Barbara Jackson, where in the US do you live? Because unfortunately, yellow isn't available everywhere. Now, I think you can get it pretty much anywhere, but it's going to be, depending on where you are, it might be direct ship by UPS in like a big box with dry ice, where you can pretty much only have pre-order only. There's not depots with actual trucks driving everywhere anymore, unfortunately. I don't think we're anywhere on the East Coast. I think we go a little bit into like the West Coast area, but it's predominantly just like a Midwestern thing.
Womp womp.
I never looked into the service because I just assumed it would be expensive, but it's not apparently, and grocery stores are expensive now too. Yeah, the pandemic definitely made a lot of the grocery stores catch up to our prices, and we were never like truly that expensive either. And especially when you get all the different deals and stuff that we have, the sales, like you can get a a cart full of groceries for $150 still, because you used all the different coupons and you saved $75 with all the different coupons and everything. And there's different ways to get around it. Some of my customers, like, they know how to like use the system, and they they shop the sales the same way, old like couponers and stuff back in the day would do it.
I wished I was a couponer, but I tried, and I kept forgetting to bring the freaking coupons to the store. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Because I identify as this emoji. I am a big, strong boy. Oh, okay. Like Big Steve. Then who's the moose? Oh, that's a different moose. Now I remember because she had 3 O's, and the middle O was capital. It was like MOO. Yeah,
Oh,
it was moose, or maybe it was a 0 to where it was like thinner. I don't know. Either way, I don't remember what the rest of her name was.
good night, Lee.
I just saw moose and just put 2 and 2 together. I don't care if Danny thinks you're a lady. He is wrong a lot. Okay. What else am I wrong about?
Terrestrial moose.
That's terrestrial moose, yeah.
You know, I had 3 days off this past week. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thursday was spent going out of town for a funeral. One of Nathan's relatives had passed unexpectedly. Kind of thought it was going to be like Monday or Tuesday, but it wasn't until Thursday. So we had to drive out 3 hours, hang around, see some family we haven't seen in a long time, and then drive back 3 hours. So we were exhausted. And then Tuesday night is when Nathan decided to have this guy's night, and our house was thrashed. We kind of talked about it on our Wednesday stream. My mom stayed home with Kane Thursday, and she ended up like cleaning my whole house. I was like, I came home and because like we were dreading it. Like we didn't say anything, but we were both dreading it, and we're just like, oh my god, we have to go home, and then we have to start cleaning. Oh, it's gonna be awful. We come in and like every room is vacuumed, the bathrooms are clean, the kitchen's clean, the counter's clean, like everything except for the dining room table, and I'm just like, I didn't expect you to clean my whole house. She's like, well, you said you were gonna have friends over. I was like, okay. Yeah, it was boys' night. Yeah. And Nathan kept joking about that too. I was like, do I get to play games? He's like, no, it's boys' night. And I was like, okay. So then I got home last night. And I was like, we all sat down and ate dinner because he smoked a pork butt. We had pulled pork, all that. So sat down, ate dinner, and I'm just like, okay, do I stay and play games with you guys, or do I go in the living room and play my PlayStation? Nathan's like, you can stay and play. I was like, okay. I was like, if you want it to be true boys' night, I'll go in the next room and I'll just play PlayStation. It's fine. But no, he's like, no, I was joking. I was like, oh well, you sounded really serious, so but yeah, it was very nice. And then we have a corporate visit coming this this Thursday, so I traded off having my 3 days off to now work I have to work 7 days in a row. So that just kind of traded off my 3 days off last week and then 7 days in a row. I did not say that. I said you were invited the whole time. Lies, Nathan.
You
Lies
spelled
and
whole
slander.
wrong.
Nathan's not the best speller.
Unless that was his way of hiding to actually tell the truth, because he only told you in that little hole of time. I guess females going 2 or 3 eggs. I mean, how much can she produce at 1 centimeter? Dude, man, fish are
Lee-
crazy.
You know what, Lee? Lee, go to bed. He's making fun of how many times I said like.
Well,
Lee, go to bed. Stop making me look bad. And yes, I know I can't spell. He's not the best speller, guys. Don't judge him.
You don't want to do this, Danny. Know that I love you.
Those are
you don't know how masochistic I am. I do like to hurt myself with people. I don't know. Anyway, but I was gonna say 1 centimeter long of pitsy grommet. You'd be surprised how many little tiny eggs those fish can hold. Like, because their eggs are like, I mean, if the fish is only 1 centimeter long, that egg has to be nearly microscopic. Like, we're talking like killifish sized eggs that are just like teeny tiny.
Hi, Salient.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like still like probably 50 babies in there. Unless it's like first spawn or something like that, then it could be a little bit smaller, but still, 20. I wouldn't say 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Especially because egg laying, the things that actually like lay eggs, they lay a whole lot more than stuff that does like like live birth or something like that. Like, I think the animals that give like have the most babies at once is like cats and stuff like that, where they can have like up to like 7 or something like that. And if they have more than that, well, they don't have enough nipples to feed them all. But like things that lay eggs, they just lay a crap ton all the time. Most of the time. I think like ostriches only lay like 1 or 2 eggs a year, and then most parrots lay like 1 or 2 eggs a year. But well, there's one of those things I might be wrong about there. I get that it's kind of balanced. There's just so, but anyway, but the stuff that lay eggs definitely has the potential to lay a whole lot more. You don't see anything popping out, 100 babies out of their stomach at one time. Like, I don't think, at least. Except maybe those like parasitic wasps or something like that. But the thing is already dead that it's bursting out of.
Yeah.
Like, Danny, you're cool, and like I like your hair, like, because like I don't have hair, like, and am like bald. Says Lee Wilcox. Yeah. Come tomorrow, it's 4 months since I cut all my hair off, and I got some decent length. Like, I think probably about that long, like 3 inches or so. So it's not too bad. Hopefully by this time next year, I'll have hair down to my shoulders.
Maybe. We'll see.
But in 2 weeks, I have another appointment to get my hair trimmed up. Probably get all the sides shaved off one more time, pretty much, and get like the length, keep the length on the top, so that everything kind of balances out more as it grows out. Because I'm starting to get in a weird, awkward stage right now to where like my hair can't decide if it wants to go over or behind my ears. So
that's funny.
I need to have the hair on the top start to like catch up to that. Yet you have to go through some weird stages to get your hair back out to length. So
That's why I've been so scared to do a side shave, is because I've heard the growing it back out is a nightmare.
Yeah. And I got a couple like short hairs up in like this area too that are like half the length as of the other ones because I was giving myself a hard part for a while where I actually like shaved the part into my head. Well,
Oh,
into my hair. Damn, Daniel. I've had trifasciata and borella juice fry at the same side, so I predict 2 to 3 fry in 5 to 6 days. Huh. Okay. I would think they would still do more than that. But then again, they could have bigger eggs, like a kiwi bird. But the egg is almost the same size as the bird itself. Enjoy the fact you're still getting hair, Danny. Well, I come from a long line of men that keep their hair. Generally.
Liquid Rock, hello, hello.
So the believe it or not, the male pattern baldness gene or whatever is actually carried by women versus men. So whether or not you are going to go bald actually depends on your mother's dad, not not necessarily your dad or his dad. So
Not always true, because Nathan takes after his dad for hair pattern, not his mom's dad.
his mom's dad has like full hair or something. Or?
He's a silver fox.
That's just what I always heard.
That's what we always heard too. And then,
But either way, my mom's dad has full hair, and my dad still is. He's 68, and he's still got pretty much most of his hair. You can see a little bit coming back in this sort of area, which I'm kind of fine with that. Having a little bit coming back in your hairline actually makes some hairstyles look a little bit better. Like even having this part, like it would look weird if my hairline was just like all the way to here. But then again, it's different for some races too. Like black people shave their hairline more rounded like that. Yeah. My old roommate, one time he went to a black barber, which nothing wrong with that or whatever. His hair looked fantastic, but he trimmed tried to like trim up his mustache, and he trimmed it like super thin, like pencil stash, which was like it didn't work for his mustache at all. So he ended up having to completely shave his face. Because yeah, like a black person looks great with like one of those sort of like thin mustaches because their hair is like curlier and thicker. Whereas, yeah, it didn't work for him. But yeah, his hair looks fantastic though. It was lines like crazy, man. Liquid Rock, what's up, dude? I am not gonna highlight Lee's comment. I'm hoping hair loss is based on stress. That's why I'd be chilling. I mean, it definitely is based a little bit on stress.
That could definitely be a factor.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, like, look at what, like, every single president has turned into. All that stress and stuff does not do good for the human body, for sure. But yeah, that's why I try to live a stress-free life, and man, it does not always work. But I can definitely tell I've been living a less stressful life overall than my brother somehow, which is crazy because I was in the army and all that stuff. But my younger brother always gets confused as being older than me. And so I just assume that that's probably because he's been super stressed out and has more wrinkles or something. I made a cherry shrimp side project today. Why not? Yano.
Why not? Why not, you know?
Oh. Why not, you know?
I just topped off my shrimp tanks that I'm still cycling. I need to do a water test on it again. Figure out where they're at, see if I need to start ordering shrimp. See if I'm ready for it.
You can say whatever you want about that channel, Lee. It's not mine.
Hey! Good night, Mike. Hope you sleep well. Oh wait, no. I think he works nights. Hope you have a good night.
I guess that means he's sleeping.
He might have to work. I think he works overnights.
Yeah.
Yee.
Thought I would stop in for giggles. I'm dropping all the FishTube channels. Too many people blissfully ignorant of logic and reason about anything not fish, like economic policy. I don't even have a fish channel anymore, really.
We just rant.
Yeah.
Just chat.
I mean, I'm trying to just kind of keep politics out of it just because, I mean, a lot of stuff is taken out of context, no matter what side you're on. You should never trust anything mainstream media, no matter what side you're on, because, well, there's really only one side of the mainstream media, and it's not your side. So, but then also this is YouTube, and I can only say so much without my channel being throttled even more than it already is. And yeah. And I don't want to ruin Gina's channel by saying stupid stuff because we're streaming on her channel as well.
Appreciate it. Moose, I haven't decided yet. I was just gonna kind of shop around and see what's available and stuff whenever my tanks are ready. Probably blue and red. Maybe orange or yellow.
Yeah, not your side. Yeah, exactly. No matter what side you're on, it's not your side. Is that they're a third side? But but this whole thing, like, I'm gonna bring it up on this live stream because why not? But because I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna like offend any particular side of any particular argument, but just something that I've just noticed with YouTube, and I know for a fact it's not just me because I was okay. I was trying to have an actual like discussion with somebody on YouTube just the other day. Like stuff that I would used to do on Facebook, comment back and forth, but just actually like share different, facts and opinion and whatever else. We were both trying to do the same thing. And all of our comments were just not even posting, just getting removed. They would say they post, but you would refresh the page and the comment would just not be there. Just immediately being flagged by Google, YouTube, whatever, and just not even allowing us to post it. And it's like, neither of us, I guarantee it. I mean, I know I wasn't, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't either. We were trying to have an actual discussion, not like a volatile argument or anything like that. We weren't using any like bad words. We weren't cursing each other out. We weren't calling each other stupid or idiots or anything like that. We're just trying to share actual information and trying to actually have a healthy argument. And we can't even post anything. I couldn't even like post the fact that I couldn't post anything. It was ridiculous. To where it's just like, there used to be a time where YouTube and all other like social media and things like that were an actual platform to where they didn't influence anything. They didn't try to control speech or anything like that. They allowed you to say what you wanted to say, and they allowed stuff to go where it went. And if certain things were deemed, actually like harmful or whatever, you could report spam, you could report, people trying to murder each other or whatever else. But it's just like, just people trying to actually have a discussion and share different arguments on both sides of a spectrum, and not even getting anything across to each other. It's like the only thing YouTube will allow is people to have snarky comments at each other and just call each other stupid. And then as soon as somebody calls each other stupid, they don't allow anybody to reply or defend themselves or anything like that at all. It's just purely divisive. The algorithm just is ridiculous and stupid and just forces stupid content down your throat. You might be able to, on your news feed, see kind of the stuff that you want, but the second you watch that first YouTube short and you scroll through, they show you a bunch. You have to scroll through 10 different stupid shorts of the stuff that you're not interested in at all to finally get another thing that's related to actual content that you want to see. Wait, what the hell is wrong with snarky comments? Nothing. Nothing at all. And that's what I feel like. There's nothing wrong with snarky comments. There's nothing wrong with somebody calling somebody else an idiot if they're a freaking idiot. Let people say what they want to say. Stop controlling people's speech. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You're supposed to be a platform, and you're freaking going against like government, like you're against the U.S. Constitution. It's just wrong. And I know the U.S. Constitution isn't like the global policy or whatever, but you shouldn't have private organizations that have more power than the government itself. And if that means that nobody else gets to see this live stream other than the people that just heard what I said, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. We are adults. We can face it. We should be able to decide if we want to continue seeing something or not. If you don't want to see it, you turn it off. You go to something else, If you don't want to watch my live stream, what do? You turn it off, You go watch another one. You go flip to an actual, long content, full video, whatever. Nobody's forcing you to be here or anything like that. But they can decide, oh, nobody wants to see this, Nobody would want to see this, of course. Like, the earth is flat right now. Oh, Jesus. Who's the adults want to accuse me of being such a horrible, boring thing like that? The the Constitution is only for the U.S. government. It doesn't apply to private companies. I know. But we shouldn't have private companies that have more power than the U.S. government. And then they'll be like, oh, well, if you don't like it, just go make your own. And then people do. And then the freaking powers that be team up and take those companies down and don't allow you to do it. Until you become more powerful than them. Yeah, aquatic myths, just don't even go there. Come on, those companies bought the U.S. government parents. Yep. You're right.
I'm just here. I'm just here playing with my little toy, my little squish.
Yeah. How dare you have a normal discussion? You're not being clickbaiting enough. Yep. Exactly. If you shut down conversation, it's so much easier to vilify each other. And, when you go around calling somebody Hitler every single day, well, eventually somebody's going to want to take out Hitler. So, yeah. It makes sense that somebody tried to assassinate Donald Trump. I will go to space and see what shape it really is and report back. I know how to use an Xbox controller. Dude, yeah. It is crazy how I was watching I was Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Again, I was over at a friend's house and it was on TV, and so we were watching that. And there's like the sequence of scenes or whatever where I can't remember their names, but the gold people that are like super perfectionists or whatever, they hop on their high tech like things, and they're in like these like spaceships, but they're not actually in the spaceships. The spaceships are like unmanned drones, and they're just in like this virtual reality sort of thing with controllers. And we were just kind of talking about how, eventually that's how it's going to be. And we're pretty much almost there as far as the technology that we have. A lot of stuff is already done with drones, with people that just have a little, television screen in front of them and an Xbox controller, and they're controlling this drone or whatever. And we already have unmanned airplanes and things like that, spy planes and stuff that are just unmanned drones, and sometimes it's completely automated to where they're not even, controlled with no, they can be controlled with that, but they have like autopilot stuff set up to where they're just like have a whole programmed mission of ones and zeros and all that stuff, and they just fly and do their mission, and all that stuff. And so If they can do that with little spy planes and drones, they can easily just take the pilot out of the fighter jet and put a gyroscopic controller in there and do all that. Now there's some of the delays and stuff to where you don't necessarily have the reaction time of an actual fighter pilot, if you're not in the plane. But we're not too far away from instantaneous data collection or whatever, or at least traveling as fast as the speed of light. I guess that's probably as fast as it can go, as it would be the speed of light. So you wouldn't be able to necessarily control something on the other side of the earth instantaneously. There'd at least be the speed of light delay. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The third one was definitely better than the second one. Though I liked all three of them. But yeah, the first one was definitely the best, I feel like. We'll all have iPhones a la Futurama. Yeah. Commercials in our dreams. Dude, yeah. So you already know how annoying it is with ad pop-ups and stuff like that. Imagine you have a Neuralink in your head and, you're having a normal conversation with somebody, and before you can continue having the normal conversation, you have to watch a 30-second ad in your brain. We're this close to that. The only difference between that and where we are now is that, we're still holding the device in our hand. But I've brought it up so many times. I drive professionally for a living. I'm on the highway and side roads. 90% of all drivers drive like this. 90%. It's absolutely ridiculous. Police officers do it. Everybody, at least here in the St. Louis area, 90% of people, 95% of people will pull their phone out at a stoplight. I'm not driving, I'm at a stoplight, but then they're staring at their phone, the light turns green. They're not going because they're still looking at their phone. Person behind them gets mad, honks the horn. They finally go. By the time they go, the light turns yellow and everybody behind them missed the light. It's just, but they're in their own little world, flipping through Facebook and Instagram or whatever else, because they can't just focus on being in the moment and focusing on driving and being a safe driver and a courteous driver. Paying attention to the people out there. And I almost hit somebody today because now pedestrians have an unwritten right of way because that's just the way it is.
They're the most vulnerable on the road, so they have the right of way.
Right. So I am at a stoplight. I'm in the right turn lane, and I'm inching out. I'm looking, and I'm waiting for my opportunity to turn right, because in Missouri, if there's not a sign posted, you can turn right on red. And so I'm looking, and I'm getting ready to go, and I see an opening, and I take my foot off the brake, and I'm putting on the gas, and as I'm doing that, and I'm turning my face forward to look as to where I'm actually going versus seeing the traffic, there's a person in front of me. And I had to immediately like go right back on the brake. I probably was, less than a foot away from hitting them. And they just kind of turned and walked and kind of looked at me like all confused. And it's just like, I had no idea you were there. Like, my parents taught me, it's like if you're going to walk in front of a car, you make eye contact with the driver and you wait for the driver to tell you to go, because they are aware of you being there. Because if they're not aware of you being there and you walk in front of them, they might hit you. And it's like, I almost hit somebody today because they just walked in front of me. The sign was very clearly said with the orange hand, do not walk. And they walked anyway. They never made eye contact. I had absolutely no idea they were there. They're lucky that I was paying attention enough to not just go and to like verify my surroundings before I really hit the gas. Because like, yeah, I could have easily hit them. And even just the reaction time of like having to go from brake to gas back to brake, like there's milliseconds of time in there to where the truck starts moving before you can actually even stop it again, to where I might have even just bumped her a tiny bit and then I have a whole lawsuit in front of me because I'm working in a company car. I'm paid for, to drive professionally, and I have a whole nother standard of rules that I have to abide by on a whole nother level because I have a different sort of license than the normal driver. And, we live in a crazy, entitled, litigious society where everybody wants to sue for everything. So even if I didn't hurt her at all, she'd probably flop down in the middle of the road and say I did and all this other stuff. And I don't have a camera or anything like a dash cam or anything to prove otherwise. So then I have to rely on any witnesses to back me up. And gosh, I don't even want to think about anymore of what would have happened if I just tapped this lady. So, gosh, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. And it's like all she had to do was just, wait until I looked and said she could go or whatever. Or wait until the sign said walk or whatever. Like she almost got herself hurt because she was stupid, but it still would have probably ended up being blamed on me because of just the way everything goes and me actually being a Department of Transportation driver and all this stuff. So I can't stand that stuff when, that's a sign that you need a dash cam.
Yep. We got a dash cam because one time Nathan, I think, was driving home, and there was I think it was a tow truck in front of him that let off the gas in traffic and actually started rolling back and actually rolled into his car. But
I almost had that happen once.
Yeah, and there was no dash cam. He didn't have a dash cam. Nathan didn't have a dash cam. So it was just he said, she said, he said. So insurance didn't cover it. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, in those situations, it's just, well, your insurance pays for you. Your insurance pays for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, sucks. Yeah. Our trucks should come with like a dash cam.
You would think. You would think most company vehicles would have a dash cam.
Yeah. They have lots of different ways of like tracking our vehicle. Like it's tracked by like GPS, and it's got like a system that detects like hard braking and hard acceleration, and if you're speeding for certain period of time at all, or even like if you go 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, you just immediately get dinged. And then if you're going like more than 5 miles an hour over the speed limit for a period of like 2 minutes or more, you get dinged. But sometimes it's not exactly 2 minutes. So it's just like, you got to be really careful with that throttle because, I mean, especially here in St. Louis, like everybody just drives fast. So
Yeah.
it's just, it's really easy to be going 5 to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Just pacing traffic. Yeah.
And people get really mad, when you got to slow down to the actual speed limit.
Yeah.
Even if you only got to do it for like a couple seconds to just reset the timer, like, because that's what I do sometimes. Like, I will try to go, roughly about 5, maybe even up to like 10 miles an hour over the speed limit sometimes. But then, like, after doing that for like 30 to 40 seconds, I have to completely let off the gas and slow back down to like a couple miles an hour over the speed limit to like reset the telematic timer and all that stuff, and then speed back up. So I'm one of those people that I'll be like going and then slowing down, to like going and then slowing down.
That pisses me off. Oh my
I
God.
know, being one of the people behind that pisses me off more than somebody that just is going continuously slow.
I
So
just had that on the drive. I just had that on the drive home. So I set my cruise control because I zone out on my drive, and especially if there's not a lot of people around. I set my cruise control. So many times I've come up on somebody, obviously catching up to somebody, and I get over. They start pacing me as I'm trying to pass them. So then I
yeah,
have to speed up, and then I end up passing them, and they're constantly going faster, slower. So then they like pass me because they're like, "Oh, you can't pass me. I'm gonna pass you again," and then they start slowing down again, and I'm like, just hold a constant speed. It's not hard.
yeah.
Use your cruise control if you can't. Like Jesus.
There was one time that I was going down the like 370 where there's like never any cops, and I put my cruise control at 80. I was like, I'm just gonna go, and I started like, there was a car that like came up behind me and like zipped up like really fast to like go up, and was just like, I was like, well, that's unnecessary. Like, I'm already going like 80. You're
Yeah.
just going like excessively fast. And uh after after so long, they went like past me. They ended up, I guess, like getting on their phone or something like that and just kind of zoning out. And they slowed back down. And so, me being on cruise control, all of a sudden I started kind of creeping up on them, and I ended up kind of passing them and looking over at them. And then like they got back zoned up and they sped back up and zipped up in front of me. And the same thing happened again. They zoned back out. They started slowing back down. I've been on cruise control going the same speed the entire time and ended up passing them again. And it's just like, gosh, like, if you want to go, just go. Like, if you're just doing this because you got something about like you don't want to be behind me, like you just have to be in front of me or whatever, like, just go.
I think it's like people get offended about being passed, and it's like, because some like a lot of times I'll just get over in the fast lane to pass them, just still going my constant speed, and then they start to speed up, and I have to end up like cranking it up like 5 miles an hour just to pass them. And then
Yep.
as soon as I get back over, they go back to their original speed. Like,
Yep.
people just get offended about being passed, and it's
They
like,
really do.
why?
They really
Why?
do. And it's like the only time that I ever like, I guess would be like get offended by getting passed is when like I was intentionally like slowing down for some specific reason, and then like I was just waiting for my opportunity to go, and then somebody passes me and then causes me to have to continue to like go slow.
Yeah.
Like, then I'm like, you passed me because you just absolutely had to get in front of me because I was going slow, right? But now like you're blocking me. So like that's when I'll like actually kind of get up on somebody's ass. Be like, you're gonna pass me and then go slow. Like, no, that's not how this works. Like,
Yep.
you're gonna go. Like being on a boat.
Yeah. Barbara said that she was in the back seat of somebody who did that fast slow thing and it made her car sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had somebody that I don't know if it was. I only rode with him once, and I don't know if it was his car or if it was just him being like super nervous, like having passengers in his seat in his car that he's not normally used to. But he was like literally driving like what you
Yep.
see on TV, where like the car was like doing this sort of thing, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Constantly
What
making
is
corrections.
going on?
Yeah.
But Mickey said something here. Wasn't there an incident where two Tesla cars standing still and honking on each other the other week? System tightened or something situation, can't remember. He said system tilted. Two automatic Teslas, no driver. I have no idea.
I think I've seen videos of that happening.
I
Especially around like California and stuff, yeah.
I thought anything about that was just like a joke, like something you'd see on Family Guy or something like that. I didn't know any of that was like actually happening.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think I've seen where officers pull over a Tesla that doesn't have a driver because they're like driving down the wrong side of the road or something, or they're going down the wrong way on a one-way street. And they're just like, what do we do? Like, there's no driver.
You get car sick now. It's crazy how these perfectly safe vaccines just, affected so many different people.
It's like it's I understand when people's like if you're zoned out and you're going like 65 but you're meaning to go 70 and somebody passes you and it kind of wakes you up. I get that, but it's the fact that like I get in front of them and then they automatically slow down again. It's just like, come on. Come on.
Just out for a drive by myself, officer.
I just cruising. I just a cruising guy.
But I just realized I never answered the question, what was for dinner?
Oh, you didn't. You sure didn't.
I went on a whole tangent about
everything
else.
So anyway,
I got options. I can make pizza because I got all this food from Schwan Yellow.
Yeah.
I can make chicken Florentine. I can make chicken lo mein. I could just make chicken. I could make steaks. I got so much different stuff.
We have so many leftovers from last night. That's probably what I'll have for dinner. So pulled pork sandwiches.
I might have my leftover pulled pork sandwich too.
Yeah.
When I went to Brewski's the other day, their food is so good. Like, I'm so excited. I'm gonna keep going out there, and I'm just gonna end up trying everything on the menu just because it's so good. But they had this one sandwich that I tried the last time. It's called the War Hog. It is absolutely delicious. It's smoked and pulled pork, and then pepperoncinis, and I think there's some type of cheese on there too, and then they put some Carolina barbecue sauce on there as well.
Ooh.
And oh my gosh, just so good. And then they have house seasoned fries, and I had never seen them before, and they come out and they were like thick fries, like really thick, but then long fries, and they were really, really good though. I don't normally like thick cut fries. I think there's just too much potato to crispy saltiness. It's just not the right balance. I prefer thinner fries. I think McDonald's fries are the perfect thickness or whatever. Though I do also sometimes like the string fries or whatever you get from like Steak and Shake or whatever.
Oh, shoestring fries.
Yeah, those actually, there's almost not enough potato to where those get cold really really fast. So that's why I don't really care for shoestring potatoes. But I don't know what they did. They must have like triple fried these fries or something, because well, I know they definitely like boiled the potatoes before they like fried them, and they definitely at least twice fried them, because just the inner potato was just like soft, melt in your mouth, amazing, and then the whole outside was just a perfect like crunch, to where it was just amazing. Best fries like I've ever had. And it just reminds me of this recipe I saw on like YouTube or whatever. It was like, this is one of those 60-second shorts, like these are gonna be the best fries you ever had. And if this is what they did, it makes sense as to this is probably what they did. Whereas yeah, you cut the fries and then you boil them first until they start to get soft. And then right when they're soft, that's when you take them out and you put them on, like, was it like, I think like 300 degrees or 350 degrees on the oil, and you fry them until they start to kind of turn like just a little bit of a color, and then you take them out and you dry them off, and then you let them like cool back down, and then you fry them again in like a really high temperature to actually build that crust, and then you season them up and all that, and yeah, it sounds. I want some of those fries again, but I ate all the fries and I left half the sandwich, so I don't have any of the fries left. Oh, wait a second. I'm having trouble with my tanks again. I'm sorry, Diane. pH keeps crashing. Old tank syndrome. It's possible with old tank syndrome, though I have also had my oldest tank never have what you call old tank syndrome, where the pH is crashed like that. It just is. It's the most stable tank I've ever had. It's like 5 years old now. Damn water company. It's happened before. Go downstairs and my fish are swimming on their sides. Yeah.
Could be water company.
They change some of the stuff all the time. And then, we've had such a drought recently that that little bit of rain we got barely even saturated the ground.
Yep.
So, let a Barbara's. Oh, researching old tank syndrome. So, old tank syndrome is kind of an older thing, and I think traditionally it mainly happens with like people that have gravel aquariums. If you have like a sand bed, especially if you have a thick substrate with like a sand bed and all that stuff, like the substrate just becomes an active substrate. Now you don't want to dig around in that substrate, because that's when you'll release a whole bunch of stuff into the water, which can cause problems. But it happens with gravel because like stuff will build up in the gravel, and it just is so much rotting material down there that it just like water changes don't help. You have to like get that gunk actually out of there, with like your gravel vac, but your gravel vac can't necessarily get everything. So I don't think it's really anything that Diane has to worry about. She kind of has her tank set up kind of in between the way MD sets up his tanks, and then kind of, well, Father Fish like almost too, but only because of how old her tanks are. She didn't like. I don't think she used any actual dirt in any of her tanks. But you used did you use that any aquatic soil under your tanks, or did you just use um like uh fertilizer tabs?
He says thick substrate, gravel, sand capped.
Yeah. I thought old tank syndrome was more on the no water changes, just top off and the tank is building up on stuff. That's another type of old tank syndrome as well. But if you have enough plant mass, you don't really have to worry about that as well. Yeah, the 40 breeder. Yeah. Yeah, they screw with our water too much. And it's not even like that they're necessarily putting something in there that is going to like poison it or whatever necessarily. It's just that the water changes so much. One day it'll be, so many parts this, so many parts that, so many parts this to balance out the, whatever bacteria and stuff are in the water. And then, the next, a week later, the bacteria have changed and all that other stuff, and temperatures and droughts and whatever else, to where they completely change the chemical makeup because they're battling different stuff. And yeah, that's another reason as a try to go towards a no water change ecosystem, but it's not always the easiest to do. You got to get the right sort of plants, the right sort of, light and timing and all that stuff. Because, once you start to get an algae outbreak and those sorts of things, well, yeah, you got to get rid of them.
Grant and Shelby Eater talk about how stratum like breaks down and that you have to replace it after a certain amount of time. So maybe something like that is going on.
I don't know if that's true or not. Because like the tank that I have that's in my room that's been set up for like 5 years, it's been fluval stratum, and it's got like a sand cap on top of it, but not everywhere. It's got like a sand on the front, and then the back is still like open. I've never really heard of it breaking down, because all it really is just crushed up lava rock. So I mean, if you're constantly like moving around, it might kind of break down into smaller fragments, as it just kind of does, But it kind of replenishes itself too, because it'll start, like they say, it's like active substrate. It has bacteria and stuff already in it. And it kind of does, but it doesn't have any like nutrients in it. But since it's like lava rock and super porous and all that, it absorbs nutrients from the water column, and so that's how it kind of builds up its fertilizers and stuff in the soil, the rock or whatever. But yeah, there's different sizes. There's like definitely tiny particles in there, and so like you can rinse it out if you want when you first get it. Just make sure you're rinsing it out with dechlorinated water so you don't kill any of the bacteria and stuff that's in there. But
Yeah.
I have like in that 20 long, I think there's like 30 pounds of uh friggin' eco complete in there, and then 5 to 10 pounds of sand in there as well. The tank is like half substrate, especially in the back, because I have like a really like steep angle in the tank as far as the substrate goes too. um but yeah, that tank has been like the best tank I've ever had, and I've like never had to like do anything crazy with it ever. So yeah, this is their MD tank from the garage day. Yeah, she set up that tank, the 40 breeder, the same way like MD was when he was in his first studio.
Oh, that's true, Nano. I always forget about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're using low pH, acidic, kind of low mineral water, that'll definitely eat up the substrate faster. Yeah, definitely. Whereas if you use harder water, it's fine. But somebody brought up a long time ago too that yeah, this tank was half full. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
It's about how my cycling shrimp tanks were before I topped them off last night.
The tank behind me, is the water level stops here. There's
Yeah.
nothing in there either. This 55 gallon next to me over here that you guys can't see is at the same water level as that one.
I
Um,
would I would offer
but
to come over and help Lady Diane, but I'm not off work. I don't have my next day off's not till Friday. So,
every end is a new beginning. A new beginning to give it away. Yeah, because that's kind of what I was gonna say is I'm gonna kind of redo my fish room at some point. Um, but one of the first things that I want to do is this 55 gallon that's off screen over here. I'm trying to get this one to Fishy Biz to use at his school or whatever. I just don't really have a way to get it to him. I've tried to tell him a couple times, like, he just needs to come over and get it because that's really all he needs to do. It's still got water in it, but as soon as he tells me that he's going to come over and get it, I can just start draining the water. And then I was just going to give him pretty much everything that's in the tank right now. So all the lava rock that's in there, and it's got sand substrate. He can do whatever he wants with that. And I was gonna, give him some other stuff that he might need, like if he needs a filter for it or whatever. I got a whole bunch of just stuff in here. To where, yeah, I want to get rid of the 55. Yeah, I'd rather have a 60. The 60s, yeah. I still want to get that 60 set up at some point.
oh, those tanks have been cycling for a long time. When did I talk about how I set those up? Hold on. I think I have a picture of whenever I set it up, which will have a date. Actually, I think I
Yeah,
posted it on YouTube. Hold on.
my 40 breeder already feels small. Might just jump to a 125 next. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been cycling for like 2 months now.
Oh,
Whoopsie.
but so I was talking about how I don't have fish in all these different tanks anymore. Um, I do have a tank with fish in it though. Um, and the fish. In fact, I just recently actually bought some fish to add into the tank. Because there was like 3 baby guppies that were in there. In the tank in my room. That like I bought some white cloud minnows to put out in my pond out in my backyard, and it was in the same tank as the female guppies, and they had a couple babies in there, and so he's like, there might be a couple babies in the bag or whatever. Is that okay? It's like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine. And I ended up putting there was 3 of them in there, and I put them in my tank in my room, and they've been doing fine. But then when I was talking on Fishy Biz's live stream, when he was talking about like what fish should I get, for this school year and all that, and we were talking about what fish he should get for the 55 gallon after I donate it, and I suggested getting orange mollies and black mollies and just kind of seeing what happens. And so I just decided to do it myself.
There you go.
So
You got
during
too
the
into
20
it.
long, I got a male and female black molly. There was no females that had a good lyre tail, but there's a good male that had a really nice lyre tail. So I got a lyre tail black male, and then a random a plain round tail female black molly, and then there was an orange creamsicle male molly that had a nice lyre tail. So I got him. And then there was already an orange female molly that had some black spots on her. So I grabbed her as well. And so yep, two orange and 2 black mollies, male and female of each, and we're just gonna see what happens.
Nice.
I'm hoping to end up with like orange mollies that have black spots. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all seem to be doing pretty good in there too. But I do want to do an actual like water change on that tank here soon, just because the tank does have a lot of mulm in there, and the tank went so long without having any fish in there, and then I put a couple little baby guppies in there, but now I've actually put 4 adult fish in there, and I've been feeding, so I don't want to like throw off everything with that tank. So
Right.
I should probably do a little water change here soon. So I was gonna do that. I was really thinking about doing it today. I was like motivated to do it today, but of course I'm motivated to do it while I'm working and don't have the time to do it. And then, get home from work and it's like I got an hour before I live stream.
Yeah.
Not
Not enough
gonna
time.
do the water change now because once I get started on it, I'm gonna start doing a whole bunch of other stuff with the tank, and then I'm gonna be late to the live stream, or be like halfway through and just be constantly like, I need to get back to finish the tank instead of like focusing on the live stream. So
Yeah.
Good. A source for mollies. Yeah, I like mollies. If they do really good, you know, inside, maybe next year, um, I'll take a couple mollies and just put them out in the pond
There you go.
and just let them go nuts in the pond and then try to scoop out as many as I can, uh, to bring back inside, next year or whatever. But I'm also thinking about, I know the Gambusia will survive over winter, and I already have like probably 100 Gambusia in there now from the 12 original. So they might not do very well with the mollies
Yeah.
because I don't think they did very well with the white cloud minnows that I mentioned earlier. Um, though it is kind of hard to tell little silver fish apart when you're just viewing them from the top, and it's like a pond and stuff. They're moving around so fast it's hard to get close to like focus on if you see the little red fin or not. But I haven't seen any fish that I can like confirm or white cloud minnows since I threw them in the pond. So it is what it is. But I don't think I've said on the live streams that I have fully identified that those three little goldfish that I bought from you at Petco
Oh,
are
yeah.
still in there and they're
Good.
doing quite well. They're not like this big anymore. Now they're about this big. So
Yay.
yep, there's two that are pretty much solid white and they have like a little orange cap on their head. And
Mhm.
then there's the one that has an has an actual like black on his head.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're doing fine. So
Vibes.
that's
Hello,
great.
hello.
Vibes.
But
That's
yeah,
why
no,
I
I
usually do water changes when I listen to live streams. Keep me focused. That was me back like a couple years ago. You know,
yeah.
I had pretty much stopped watching anything else on YouTube that wasn't fish related content, fish channels. That's pretty much all I was watching. Hopping live stream to live stream and just working on my fish tanks while listening to other live streams, popping in on chat every now and then, but going back to lurking as I'm doing water changes or, moving plants around or just staring at my tanks. Sometimes that's
Yes.
all it was too, was just staring at my tanks and listening to the live stream.
It's funny how I'll do that too. Like if I'm doing something, like when I was working at Marine Solutions, I'd be listening to fish live streams in between customers, or if I am working on my tanks at home, I'll be listening to fish live streams. But then when I'm playing like my cozy game on my Switch or something, then I'll have like uh a Let's Player also playing a cozy game. Like not just playing a video game, but also playing a cozy game. Like it's just
Yeah,
the vibe has to match.
right. Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. Like Ben Ochart, uh,
Yeah.
he's got a great soothing voice. It's like perfect for doing water changes. Um, but yeah, Mickey asked if they were koi or goldfish. The three little fish that I was specifically mentioning, those were three little feeder goldfish.
Mm.
Um, so they were in addition to the other fish that I already had in the pond, which I have. I have three koi, and I had one. Well, I had two goldfish before, I had a long fin and then I had like a regular like comet goldfish. But yeah, the long fin goldfish and I came out one morning and it was outside of the pond and like half eaten. And so I guess because it was a slower swimmer or something like that, a cat or something was able to get it. But I haven't had any issues with any of my other fish since getting pulled out. I tried to get that sprinkler system for a while to try to get rid of some of the cats, and the damn sprinkler only worked for like 2 days before the batteries ran out or something like that, or it just stopped working. So I just kind of gave up on that. But I have 3 koi, and now I have 4 goldfish, and they're all like comet style goldfish, so they can move really fast. And then I have 2 like regular standard like short fin koi that are pretty much, both of them are solid white, and then I have 1 butterfly koi that is mostly white, but it's got this like metallic-y sort of like dragon scale sort of thing on the top, to where like from the top it just kind of looks more silvery, and yeah, it's got the cool like metallic-y scales down its spine. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
So yeah, it actually, with the butterfly fins and all that stuff, it looks like a little water dragon. It's pretty sweet. So you have 3 koi, 4 goldfish, and 50 to 100 gambusia in there. That I bought 12, and they just exploded.
Yeah, Barbara, I've seen it in passing, Little Kitty Big City. I haven't looked into it, but maybe now I'll look into it and see if I
Little
might get into
Kitty
that one.
Big City. That sounds like a spin-off of Sex and the City about a teenager.
It looks like you just play as a little cat and you just go around a city just being a cat.
Yeah, the metallic scales. I like those. Had to stop in and say hi. Thanks for the live stream. Me back to hanging out with my family. Bye. Well, I mean, you popped in right at the end. We're a couple minutes over, but that's just fine. I mean, it's not like we're on some crazy schedule or anything like that. Stuff isn't how it used to be. Everybody streams all over each other nowadays anyway. But anyway, I wasn't originally going to be streaming next week, but we will be, because I don't have a game night. And I'll share some pictures and maybe a video or 2 of Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper, and see if I can get any decent sort of quality audio or anything like that. But
Sounds
anyway,
good.
I'm going to go get some food. Catch y'all later. Thanks for joining us. And if you watch the replay, thanks for watching the whole thing. You made it to the end. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time. So long. And thanks for the